Hi, my name is Brayden. I'm K3DW on the Twisty Puzzles forum, and I'd like to introduce you to my two newest puzzles. So let's start on the left right here. Now, you might recognize this design from September of 2015, when a forum member by the name of Perpetual Cube Machine, he released this same puzzle, and it is his design. So I really loved his puzzle. I thought it was unbelievable. And so I asked him if I could recreate it. Now, back then, I was very new to SolidWorks, probably less than a month, and I had only been designing 3x3s and shape mods of 3x3s. And so I wanted to branch out, try some corner-turning things, maybe some hybrid axes, and I did. So I asked him if I could recreate his design. He said yes, and I did. But that's not this. That is this. This was my version 1 of his Asymmetrical Dino 2x2, which I turned into a pet project, and I'm still designing new versions now. So it turns like a 2x2, and then the corner turns too, and it's all around pretty bad. These pieces, the dedges, they jiggle around, they pop out very easily too. Yep, they're absolutely awful. And then there's also a cap on the corner. His design went with a flush corner without a cap. I decided to put a cap on. It leaves a raised edge, and I don't like it, and 3D printed, at least FDM 3D printed caps don't seem to fit very well. I don't like it. This is my version 1. This is my version 5. So I've been designing and designing more and more versions. Finally, I became satisfied with this one. It doesn't have a cap anymore. The screw screws in from the inside, so it's an inside-out screw here. But the other screws for the 2x2, you can just access them right here. Yeah, so this is the Asymmetrical Dino 2x2. It turns like a 2x2. In fact, it turns quite nicely. I'm very surprised. And the corner turns in increments of 120 degrees, so you can fully scramble all the pieces. Okay, so that's pretty cool. This design has become my pet project, and so has this design. Now, what is this one right here? It looks almost the same, but with some of the pieces unbandaged. So this is the Asymmetrical Dreidel 2x2. Now, why is it called that? Because of the Limb Cube Dreidel 3x3. Now, I loved this puzzle when it came out. It was very cool. And I thought, hey, this puzzle kind of looks like this puzzle. What if I put these two together and made a version over here, the Dreidel 2x2? Now, see, these corners turn in increments of 60 degrees. You know, you probably all know how this works. You can keep turning it like that. And that's the same way this puzzle works. Now, because there's all these little puzzles, and I didn't have any forethought to actually decide, hey, I should probably have these pieces stick to each other instead of just, you know, underneath the corner. There's 6 pieces right here that all move around like that, and it doesn't necessarily turn very well. But it's functional. It's functional, and that's all that matters, right? And I quite like it. I like the way it looks. So as I said, the corner turns in increments of 60 degrees, and it can turn up like that, and then back like that. Yeah. And again, on this one, there is no cap. Instead, I call this piece the corner center on here too, or corsen for short. The corsen screws in through the core, so it's like an inside-out piece. I got that idea from David Pitcher, who makes unbelievable puzzles. And yeah, sometimes there's a rail here, sometimes it gets caught. Instead of going inside this piece, sometimes it doesn't go in the piece, so the puzzle locks up. Now, in future versions of these two puzzles, I'm going to have the rail system. So there's a rail system in this corner center, and extends into these 6 triangular pieces right here. It's actually going to extend into all these pieces around here, so that anytime you have these 3 pieces, which all come together to make a dedge unit, the 3 pieces in the dedge unit are actually going to be attached to each other instead of just next to each other, so they won't jiggle around as much. Also, I'm going to try to make a clicking mechanism of some sort. I'll see what I can do. And then the same with this one. So my ultimate goal is to have 2 puzzles, the Dino and the Dreidel, where all the pieces are interchangeable between the two. Now, as it stands, the cores are identical. The centerpieces, the internal centerpieces are identical. The internal edges are identical. The corners are very subtly different. And these dedges can't go in this puzzle because they're just incompatible. But I would love to be able to have a puzzle where, 2 puzzles, sorry, where all the pieces are compatible with each other, and then I could even make a sort of bandaged pieces kit where I could have some pieces that, like these two, fuse together, make a piece of those, maybe make a corner center that has this fused to that piece, just to make this turn right here, this 2x2 turn, impossible, because these two pieces would be fused. I don't know, I have a lot of ideas, but as of now, I'm not releasing these for sale because I'm unsatisfied with the turning, and I don't think anybody who buys this puzzle would deserve this puzzle. But I will be releasing future versions in the future. So, thank you very much for watching. This has been my Asymmetrical Dino 2x2 and my Asymmetrical Dreidel 2x2.